Hey everyone, it's Randy Canaro with Souder Station Farm, and I'm taking a break from working, and I'm gonna get we're getting the brooder house set up for the chicks. We got 300 chicks coming right off. Yeah, I'll see if I can show you. Ta-da! All right, so I just got if many of you that followed before knew that I did Pastured Poultry last year, and well, I've done them several years now in a row. But we're using the Souder style chicken pens. They work pretty well. Predation's pretty low. The only downside with them is they're insanely labor intensive. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes every day per pen, which is just each pen, it adds up. For me personally, some jobs I just find to be aggravating, like having to grind my own coffee every morning. I don't know why, I just don't like it. But I certainly don't mind making sourdough every day. So whatever. Chickens, for me, tend to be super labor intensive, but they complement the farm really well, and the product's phenomenal. So I'll still want to do them, even if I'm doing them at a small scale just for myself personally, but to do them as a business venture where I'm looking to supplement my income and have a profitable venture, then it has to pay. And the labor on a pastured poultry model for myself was just too high. That, and we don't have any really well-defined fields yet, so having to borrow the neighbor's fields, there was the transportation involved, and like lugging all the buckets of water and the feed and all that mess every day. So if you followed along, you're probably familiar with me complaining about them. So this year, give them one more shot. We've converted what was the pigs' winter quarters. They destroyed all the plastic and they chewed it off because pigs just like to play with things. And we just got this up yesterday. It's a new plastic. I think the plan is going to be to leave the ends open to let a lot of airflow come through. And I think for the winter, even when the pigs are in here, I think I'm going to leave the ends open if we move the pigs back here and just get a couple big round bales kind of as a wind block and let them just tear apart for the winter. So a couple days, I've got 300 chicks coming, like in 3 days. So we get all our heat lights out here. We're just going to run them off this baling rope twine, and this little, let me see if I can grab a little bit, back off so I can get a better shot for you guys. So essentially like a little box there in the back, yeah, way back there. There's a little box right here, and there's kind of like a box here, all kind of made out of hay with just all my junk until I get it hung up. So for the first probably week, all 300 are going to be in this small little brooder area, mostly because we want to monitor them. We want to see what they do. Little chicks are not going to jump and fly just yet. So for that first 3 days, 5 days, maybe a week, they're going to be in this area where we can monitor them. They don't go anywhere. Kind of look for like the fine little gaps where they're at. And then as they start to get bigger, we're going to just keep expanding this. And we're going to keep... sorry about the focus. Going to keep just kicking these hay bales back and giving them more and more room until we can get them outside. Probably 4 weeks. With the Cornish cross industrial birds, which have like a 6 to 8 week lifespan, 3 weeks to 4 weeks, so you can get those chicks outside. The Freedom Rangers, we run them for 10 weeks. Seems to be a nice compromise between labor putting it into them and the size of the bird you get back. And I generally go about 4 to 5 weeks, depending on the elements. If it's wicked nasty out and it looks like they're just going to go out and get soaking wet, and then if the temperatures are dropping, they're just going to come in and get chilled afterwards. I'll hold off a little while. So there's just about a week, about 4 weeks. I'm looking at. I'm ready to start putting them outside generally, especially if they've been growing really well. They're generally ready to get outside too. Now with this system, we're probably going to have some that are sneaking under the plastic. I think for now, for the first few weeks, it's not going to get too hot in here with all this plastic. Especially leaving the ends open, there's going to be plenty of ventilation. And with the hay bales, primarily, I want them in there to keep drafts from coming in, so they're not chilling the little chicks. as the season goes on, it starts to get really hot. As the birds get older birds can't handle the heat as much. Anyone that's tried raising industrial birds, like the Cornish cross on a pasture, know that they're very delicate, which we do not want that around here. We don't want to encourage weakness. If you're successful at raising Cornish crosses, rock on, just keep doing it. You know, whatever you're doing is working. But for me, I just find that they're too delicate. It doesn't matter whether it's Cornish cross or the Freedom Ranger. Once they get to a certain size, about half their life cycle, they can't handle those intense temperatures anymore, and it's just too much stress on their body. So what I may be doing is taking like some black netting and covering this to act as a form of shade control. I don't know yet. Right outside here is tons of maples. So all these maples above here are just starting to open up, right? And so we're facing to the south right now, which is the end of the east. So the wall of the greenhouse is actually facing the south. So a lot of our trees here are actually going to block and actually shade this pretty well. So I don't know how much extra protection from the heat we're going to need. A lot of this is we're going to kind of figure it out as we go. One problem is it was such a late season. Let me fix that for the light. I need to get a dedicated camera person, I see. One of the problems with the light, with the pasture this late season was getting the pigs off of here. There wasn't, we couldn't get the pigs off as soon as we wanted, so what we intended to have as pastures is not nearly as thick as I'd hoped. So I get about 200 pounds of grass seed spread yesterday, a big variety mix of like 9 different things: clovers and fescue and Kentucky bluegrass and ryegrass and perennial ryegrass, and I get about 200 bales of hay coming on top of that. So I got the grass seed spread. We're going to spread the hay, and hopefully that acts as a mulch and enough to get that those seeds jump started. The beginning of the season, you know, a month from now, what stuff does come up is going to be super thin. Towards the end of the chicken's life cycle, it's going to be super thick. But during that small cycle, when we first start putting them outside, we're mostly going to have to monitor this pretty close, and it may be a situation where I actually have to build a corridor where they can get, essentially on the other side of the fence, where all the thick brush is. And there won't be so much pastured poultry anymore, as much as there'll be woodland poultry. Because it's not a true pasture as much as it's a foot already thick of different grasses and clovers and forbs coming up as it is. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out just yet. But we'll see. So that's about it. We're still doing it. It's still cranking along. Let's see, get up here if there's anything left. Just putting the final touches. We got all the wood chips we had spread out, and we just got some of the grass down. We get TJ Clark come over and he helped me get the feeder going. So we had a nice lid, and that on the top of the lid will actually bounce right back and close down. So some good things happening, but we still got a lot of work ahead of us. So that's it for now. All right, guys, talk to you later. Thanks.